Hi everyone. As a great start to the new year, my manager and I are currently being harassed, threatened, and I guess attempted extortion from a man who is the owner, a small business owner of an apparel company who gifted me 4 pieces of apparel last year. I do not like doing call outs. I don't like using my platform in this way, but when I have a man calling my manager talking about he's going to destroy her and destroy me, sending emails saying that if I don't hand over $100, he will go to the public and the modeling community and the PR community and spread things about me. Do not take kindly to threats, especially those of you who know my personal lore. I handle a lot of difficult business behind the scenes, but when somebody is threatening me and my livelihood, I will do what I need to do. I met this guy at a convention through a friend. And once he found out that I have a large following, he seemed very excited to gift me pieces of his apparel. Not only excited, but once he gifted me the one that I was really interested in, he was like, "Do you want anything more? Is there anything else you want?" And it was a gifting in exchange for a post, which is how most giftings go between companies and influencers and content creators. I told him, given how my content is, I think the best way for me to showcase the apparel would be to wear it while I'm doing a video or while I'm performing a comedy stand-up show. He absolutely heard me say that and started listing off other ideas for content, like sitting down and doing a traditional review on YouTube, holding up the apparel, talking about its features. Actually, a lot of the ideas that he listed off was pretty intensive work and the kind of thing that is usually drawn up in a contract with a schedule of deliverables. And given the size of my following, my fee for that kind of work would be astronomical, especially for a small business owner. So I told him once again, what I'm willing to do for free is to wear the apparel in my videos, whether I'm doing a skit or maybe a comedy show. Actually, a comedy show would be best. Also, it is a gift, which means it is mine to use at leisure. I also told him that if he needed to get in contact with me, he could contact my manager, and I gave him my business card. He did not honor that boundary, and he went to the Instagram DMs. When I happened to see the DM a few weeks later after he gifted me this apparel, it was something to the effect of asking, "Hey, where are the videos about my stuff?" The apparel that he gifted me is not stuff that's worn in summer, which is when the exchange took place. And so I let him know, I'm like, it's summer right now. There has been no opportunity really for me to wear the stuff. Now, I wore a piece of the apparel to one of my comedy shows. Now, my posting plan for that show was to cut it up into about 6 clips and then post one every week across all 3 platforms, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. And I would tag the company of the piece of apparel that I was wearing, which is what I said I would do. So I did start to do that. I posted content from that show and I tagged the owner of the business who gave me that apparel, sending traffic over to his page, which is exactly what I said I would do. A few weeks later, he would DM me again, not going through my manager, as was the boundary that I set, basically asking again, where are my videos? Again, this is a gift that I am under no contract to meet some sort of deadline. And because it's not exactly how he wanted it, even though I told him what I was willing to do for free and what I did do for free, and if I wasn't going to do it that way, then I should just send the jackets back. And I said, you know what? Actually, that would make me most comfortable. I will absolutely send them back. And I stopped communicating with him immediately through DMs. I was not going to answer him on there. He could go through my manager like I said that he should. I only wore one of the pieces of apparel. The other 3 were hung in my closet in a cool, dark place as they should be stored. They were all stored next to each other. On one of them, it seemed that there was a small mark of a certain color from being stored next to one of the other pieces of apparel that is painted, and it seems that the paint rubbed off on the other jacket just from being stored next to each other. My manager, who he has threatened, has represented A-list producers, directors, stylists, and costume designers, people that need to design pieces for longevity, and it would be unacceptable if one of those pieces were to stain another piece of apparel just by lightly touching it. He ship these pieces of apparel, this gift, back to the owner. He mentioned the stain and that he wanted to be compensated for the stain because the piece of apparel is no longer sellable. Mind you, this was originally a gift that I am now returning because I don't feel comfortable with the way this man is talking to me and expecting certain things that were not appropriate for the exchange at all. I don't think he expected me to send the pieces of apparel back. I think that he thought that I would be guilted into doing exactly what he wanted. And so because he didn't get what he wanted, he wants to get money out of me. I informed him several times over, I believe, that we would not be paying damages for this piece of apparel that was a gift, and the way by which the stain came was being stored next to another piece of his own merchandise. I have nothing to hide, so this is the last DM exchange between me and him. You can see the bottom message. He says that he took out a business loan to gift me these 4 pieces of apparel, which seems interesting, seeing that the gifting was on the spot and spontaneous, and there was no mention of a business loan at the time. If a small business would tell me that they had to take out a loan to be able to gift me 4 pieces of merchandise, I would not have accepted. And this is page 2, where I tell him that ultimately I'm more comfortable sending the apparel back. This is the latest email received. You may pause to read that. Yesterday, before sending that email, he called my manager screaming at her and threatening to destroy her and to destroy me. You can see in the previous email where he threatens a smear campaign. I and my manager handle a lot of uncomfortable business behind the scenes. This right here is not my MO of doing things. When somebody threatens me, especially with actions that are very similar to the way I got PTSD in the first place, I will do what I have to do. I have not said the name of this company, and I hope that I am not forced to have to. And there's much more email correspondence that I have not included here, but I am more than willing to do. I will not be bullied. I will not be extorted for $100 via an email supposedly coming from someone's VP of marketing and PR manager, with no name cited of this VP of marketing and PR manager, no signature block indicating the name of this VP of marketing and PR manager. The email literally reads like a scam. It seems like somebody pretending to be multiple different people. Again, I am mad that I have to waste my time with this, but when somebody threatens me, I take it seriously, and I will no longer allow people to mistreat me without consequences. Also, the choice of day to call a woman and threaten her on the second day of a certain administration, that doesn't sit well with me either. It's just really interesting timing. So to who it may concern, leave me alone. Do not contact me. Do not contact my manager. And I am not making threats. I am saying what will happen if someone continues to try and disturb my peace and disturb the peace of the people that I love and that are important to me. Thank you, everyone watching, for being audience to this. I really hope that this is the first and last video that I have to make regarding this situation. Because given the amount alone that this man is trying to pull out of me, this is not about money, this is not about damages, this is about control, it's about bullying. And I am not going to play that game. Thank you very much. I hope that everyone has the day that they deserve.